If you've ever opened your fridge, grabbed last night's leftovers, and popped them in the microwave without a second thought, what I'm about to tell you might change the way you eat for the rest of your life. Because there are 4 foods sitting in refrigerators across America right now that doctors say should never, ever be reheated and eaten again. Not because they'll taste bad, but because of what happens to them on the inside, invisible to your eyes, invisible to your nose, but very real to your body. Stay with me, because food number 3 surprised even seasoned nutritionists, and by the end of this video, you'll never look at your leftovers the same way again. Let's be honest with each other for a moment. Most of us grew up in households where wasting food was almost a sin. Our mothers and grandmothers taught us to save every scrap, wrap it in foil, and eat it the next day, or the day after that. It was a badge of honor to stretch a meal. And that habit followed us into our 60s, our 70s, our 80s. It's comforting. It's practical. It saves money on a fixed income. But here's the hard truth doctors want you to understand. Our bodies at 60 are not the same as our bodies at 30. Our digestive systems slow down. Our immune systems don't bounce back the way they used to. And certain foods, once reheated, undergo chemical changes that a younger body might shrug off, but an older body may struggle to handle. Let's start with the one almost every American home has in the pantry right now. Rice. Plain, simple, white rice. It sounds harmless, doesn't it? But according to food safety researchers, rice is actually one of the riskiest foods to reheat, and most people have no idea why. When rice is cooked, it can contain spores of a bacteria called Bacillus cereus. These spores survive the cooking process. If the rice is left out at room temperature for too long, even just a couple of hours on the kitchen counter while you finish dinner and chat with family, those spores can multiply and produce toxins. Here's the part that shocks people. Reheating the rice does not destroy these toxins. You can microwave it as hot as you want, and the harmful substances remain. For a senior with a more sensitive stomach, this can lead to nausea, vomiting, and digestive distress that lingers far longer than it would in a younger adult. The fix is simple once you know it. Cool rice quickly, refrigerate it within 1 hour, and only reheat it once. Now let's talk about something many of us were taught was a healthy addition to any meal. Spinach and leafy greens in general. This one catches people off guard because greens have such a wholesome reputation. But spinach, along with beets, celery, and other leafy vegetables, is naturally high in nitrates. When these vegetables are cooked and then left to sit, especially reheated a second time, those nitrates can convert into nitrites, and under certain conditions, into compounds that researchers have studied for their potential link to health concerns over long-term, repeated exposure. This doesn't mean one reheated spinach dish will harm you, but doctors caution against making it a daily habit, especially for older adults whose bodies process these compounds differently than they did decades ago. The safer approach experts recommend is simple. Cook only what you'll eat that day, and if you do have leftover greens, eat them cold in a salad rather than running them through the microwave again. Here's where the story gets personal for so many of you watching. Chicken. The most common protein on American dinner tables, and one of the most reheated foods in every senior household. You cook a big batch on Sunday, portion it out, and reheat it through the week to save time and energy. It makes sense. Nutritionists have long noted something curious about reheated chicken. The proteins in chicken are delicate, and when they're cooked, cooled, and then reheated, the protein structure change in a way that can make it harder for some people, particularly those with sensitive digestion, to break down properly. This isn't about a mysterious toxin. It's about digestive comfort and food safety. Chicken that isn't cooled quickly enough, or reheated unevenly in a microwave that leaves cold spots, can allow bacteria to survive and multiply. And for someone in their 60s, 70s, or 80s, a bout of food poisoning isn't just an inconvenience. It can mean dehydration, hospital visits, and weeks of feeling weak and unlike yourself. The solution isn't to stop eating chicken. It's to reheat it fully and evenly, stirring halfway through in the microwave, and making sure it's steaming hot all the way through before you take that first bite. And now, the 4th food. The one that quietly sits in almost every refrigerator in this country, wrapped in foil, waiting to be reheated for a quick lunch. Potatoes. Yes, the humble potato. Here's what most people don't realize. Potatoes, especially when wrapped in foil while still warm, create a low-oxygen environment that is perfect for a particular type of bacteria called Clostridium botulinum to grow if the potato sits at room temperature for too long. This bacteria is the same one responsible for botulism, a rare but serious illness. Reheating in the microwave does not always reach every part of the potato evenly, especially if it's thick or wrapped tightly. For most healthy adults, this risk is small if potatoes are handled properly. But doctors emphasize that older adults, whose bodies fight off illness more slowly, should be extra cautious. The safest habit is to remove foil promptly after cooking, refrigerate potatoes within 2 hours, and reheat them uncovered, making sure they're piping hot throughout, not just warm on the outside. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking right now. You've been reheating these exact foods for decades, and you've never gotten sick a day in your life. And that's completely understandable. Many people never experience a problem. But here's the honest truth doctors want every senior to hear. Risk isn't about certainty. It's about odds. And those odds shift as we age. What your body handled easily at 40 may hit differently at 70. This isn't about fear. It's about giving yourself the best possible chance at feeling good, staying independent, and enjoying the meals you love for many more years to come. So what can you actually do with this information? It's simpler than you think. Cook in smaller batches so you're not storing food for days on end. Cool leftovers quickly, within an hour if possible, rather than leaving them on the counter while you relax after dinner. Store food properly in the refrigerator, and try to eat leftovers within 1 to 2 days rather than stretching them to the end of the week. And when you do reheat, make sure the food is hot all the way through, not just warm in the middle. These are small, easy changes. They don't require you to give up your favorite meals or spend more money. They simply require a little more awareness in the kitchen. The same kind of awareness that has kept you strong and sharp all these years. Here's what I want you to take away from this. You have spent a lifetime taking care of the people you love, feeding your children, your grandchildren, your spouse, your friends. Now it's time to extend that same care to yourself. Every meal you eat is a chance to protect the years ahead, the birthdays, the holidays, the quiet mornings with coffee that make life worth living. Small changes in the kitchen today can mean more of those mornings tomorrow. You deserve to feel strong, energized, and well, not just for yourself, but for everyone who still needs you around. If this video gave you something valuable today, do me a favor and hit that like button. It truly helps this channel reach more people just like you. And if you want more honest, simple health guidance made specifically for this stage of life, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss what comes next. Take care of yourself today, so you can keep showing up for the people you love tomorrow.